Okay, I got a dark filter on the camera. I was just pointing some things out while I'm talking. Um, while I'm setting up the camera. Lights and shadows, that's why I'm going up and down with my camera. See, I'm waiting for the shadows to come in and get a little darker. There's a sunglasses filter on the camera now. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, over and over, from the veil to the ground, it is this way. For some reason, my camera just shut off on me. I was starting to talk, and then my camera shut off. So there's been some very interesting things that have been happening the last couple of days, for me anyway. I'm questioning all of them. I'm looking into all of them, and I just want to point out a few things as I'm going forward with it. Okay, so YouTube's starting to feed me some other people that are doing research vids, just like I'm doing right now. These people that are doing this, people that are making these videos don't talk in these videos. I don't know what they're seeing, what they're pointing out. They're not digitally collecting EMNC due to the mineral streets. In other words, condensation trails, chemtrails, geoengineering. They don't seem to have any interest in any of that, judging by what they're getting in their camera. They're putting up, and there's been 3 channels already so far that are almost identical, and they're different people, but they do have something in common. I'm going to get to that in a second. So anyways, number one, I find it suspicious that YouTube would send me anybody with common thoughts of my own. I just find that too hard to believe when they're all about deception and hiding things and shit like that. So I question that. They're doing only 1.5, on average, 1.5 to 3 minute videos. All these channels that I'm coming to so far all have these short videos, but they do have quite a few of them. I didn't even look at the amount of videos that they have, but I know that I can keep scrolling down the page. It's not like some of these other channels that YouTube sends me where they're new subscribers or old subscribers, whatever. When I go and look into their channel to see what they're about, are they going to even understand what it is I'm showing them? Are they going to go and look? Them kind of questions. So I go and look at people's channels. Anybody that might be interesting. They don't have to subscribe to my channel for me to think that they're interesting. And usually YouTube will try to hide these people from me. They don't usually put them out for me to be introduced to. I've always said that. There's got to be thousands more, and they're just hidden. We're hidden from each other. Now, they're not talking in any other video, so I'm not exactly sure what it is they're looking at, but they're showing it. Their videos look like research videos of what you call clouds that we're looking at right now, even today, right now. They look like this. They're not mineral street days where we're seeing the streaks all over the sky or anything like that. They're not silver and blue sky days. Not that I found yet. So one of the things that I want to point out, and I think is very interesting actually, is that they're all Muslim. So far, these 3 channels that have been sent to me are Muslim channels. And I was doing I was trying to find sermons, and a lot of the auditors are Christian based, right? They're all a lot of them are Christian auditors as far as their religions go. So there's a lot of talk about that. It's one of the reasons why I felt the need to start adding sermons into the auditors series. I thought that would be a good idea. So you know how YouTube is. YouTube starts throwing out all these other suggestions. So I started coming across a lot of Christians, of course, battling it out verbally with Muslims, right? and they think they got them whipped. They think they got the Muslim religion whipped, and they do these stupid fucking little short videos of Christians shutting down Muslims and all this kind of shit, right? That's really fucking stupid, man. The arguments that they have because they're putting Jesus up against Muhammad, you know, they battle it out with who's got the better prophet and all this shit, which is really stupid. So I did come across some of those, and I clicked on them because I wanted to hear what they had to say, and it was fucking stupid. Um, yeah, it's not a good idea. So here's my thing. A couple of them were talking about Muhammad taking a 9-year-old bride. So Muhammad took a 9-year-old bride, and they're using that against the Muslims. And I don't know if the videos are tampered with or fucked with or not, but most most Muslims do have a defense to that, and I didn't see it being used. So I don't know why they were not using it, but for the Christians to think that that somehow means something when in 2023, all these thousands of years later, you know, hundreds of years later in the case of Muhammad, that where the fuck is everybody's reality, man? Where the fuck is everyone's reality? I mean, 2023, we just had evidence that we all passed on of children being molested much younger than even 9 years old, if you can get much younger than 9 years old. And it was all tossed under the bus. The Americans themselves, and the English for that matter, are hiding it all, and are hiding it in plain sight. They do this with their wars. They start up wars, and then everybody gets thrown out or chooses to leave the country that they dwelled in, that they grew up in, and go to other countries, and they don't have their parents with them anymore, and families are broken up, and that's how these kids are taken into custody, and that's how they're abused. And even though might get married at a very young age, this has been going on for hundreds of years. So to blame the Muslim faith for immorality, as far as that goes, I mean, in England, I'm pretty sure the legal age to have sex is 13 years old. You can go look it up. It might be 14, 13 or 14. They go back and forth. I'd like to remind all the Christians that are doing such silly nonsense of ranking out each other's religions. I mean, how fucking stupid are you guys, man, to be doing that? There, the evidence of the true creator, the evidence of the false creator slash creator, the one you all call God, is all around us in a way that is right in your face. You cannot deny it. I'm showing it to you right now on the camera. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, and everyone passes on it. Everyone just goes right around it. Oh no, we're not gonna even look. We're not gonna even look. We're not gonna acknowledge what we're seeing. Well, I pointed out in other videos past that my mother had me when she was 15. She was 14 pregnant with me, and my father was only 16. So he was off the hook only because of the time that we lived in at that time. If that happened today, then I would not have been able to be raised by my parents in most cases, because everyone would have called my father a pedophile. They would have put him on a list that went on the internet. He would not have been able to get an apartment without being ridiculed by everyone around him. He would have not been able to get a job. He would have not had nothing. It would have not worked out very well for anyone. But that's the way we decided to do it today. That's what we do in 2024. I think I said 2023 and when I started the video. 2024 now. So how fucking silly, man. I mean, it just never ends, the silliness. So they're ranking on Muhammad. I don't understand why the Muslim people were not defending, not necessarily defending Muhammad, but defending the point that there are still countries today that allow their offspring to be promised. So they might not be having sex at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. They may not be having sex in that situation where they're promised to somebody of wealth. It usually has to do with money. So their children can be promised off that way. And then when they hit an age of sexual value, in other words, 13, 12, 13, 14, whatever they decide in that particular country, United States went back and forth. We were 16 years old was the legal age some time ago. And then if you watch, we don't deny this, man. When you want, okay, Coal Miner's Daughter, right? Coal Miner's Daughter. You go watch the movie Coal Miner's Daughter. Read all the stupid fucking lying ass books that you guys like to read. Look for the little dibbles of truth that are in between them that you ignore. Okay. Coal Miner's Daughter. They were already planning for her marriage at 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. They were already trying to find her a dress. And that's the way it was. That's the way it was at that time. And that wasn't that long ago. That was in our grandparents' time frame, right? But it gives you an idea, and there are millions of examples. I'm just using Coal Miner's Daughter because it's in my memory, for me to bring up the whole story about it. But that was her story too, and she was married off very young. And then she had to wait, of course, to be legally married by law, 16 years old. She couldn't get married at 14, but she was promised off at 12, 13, 14 years old. Her family was already looking for a husband for her. So that happens in a lot of religions. That happens in a lot of religions. So to watch this banter back and forth with these different religious groups and stuff like that, it just sucks, man. It fucking sucks. And then I guess the whole point of this, as I'm doing this research vid, I just want to talk a little bit. I'm going to go investigate. If it works out the way that I think it might, then I might jump off of the auditors and get onto choosing somebody of a Muslim faith to call out again, because I have called out others of Muslim faith, but they were very disappointing. Nice people. They were nice people. His name was the hell was his name? Muhammad Pix was the guy's name, and I made a small series to him, and I didn't feel like calling him out all that much because they were just such nice people, and they so brainwashed. They were just very brainwashed, and sometimes you hate to take people out of their bubble, their fake ass lying ass system. Um, because they were happy go lucky. Him and his girlfriend, it was him and his girl. I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, but they were both on the channel. But he's real big on the clouds. Another problem I had with his channel is that he always had to time frame his fucking clouds. He couldn't just do it like I'm doing it now, throwing up in the sky, but at least he did not have these stupid 1.5 to 3 minute videos. I mean, I hate doing 1.5, 3 minute videos. They drive me crazy, but that's okay. I'm going to go do it anyways. Um, Let me set up over here. So, anyways, just get in the corner of the roof in here. All right, that's good. So I just want to. It's disappointing. It's disappointing, and I'm trying to call out the auditors, and at the same time, call out the Christian faith to go look at things a little different. But then every time I keep coming across these different people in the of the Christian faith, they all refuse to go look. They refuse to go look at what they can see with their own eyes, and they base it all on, as usual, they base their refusal on lies and things that they cannot prove. And I'm showing it to you. I'm showing you that we can all see it for ourselves. You don't need entertainers like any of these entertainers to show it to you. You can go look at it for yourself. I don't know how much more clear I can be after 6 years of doing this and showing this to you all. I keep learning more and more about the system because I keep looking at the system for what it is. I don't keep retreating back into denial of what the system is. I'm not, so of course I know, but what good does it do when only one person knows? When only one person's allowing themselves to know reality and truth, right? And even the words reality and truth mean shit anymore. They don't mean nothing. I just have to use the words that are in our language because otherwise you won't know what the hell I'm talking about. But there's something beyond reality and truth. What you think is reality and truth is not. It's actually reverse of reality and truth. That's the divider, man. That's the divider. That's what it's all about. It's starting to rain again too, so I don't know. The camera's not going to survive out here in the rain. Um, I'm going to have to set up somewhere else. Anyways, I just wanted to let anybody know that's coming to my videos that I'm gonna look around a little bit and see. I might go in a different direction. I've already got a couple hundred videos already tagged to the auditors. I'll just leave it under delete laws series. I'll finish marking the rest of the videos I just made over the last week or so since tagging everything, and then we can go from there. Um, and I think I'm going to try to choose somebody again of Muslim faith and try calling them out. I mean, I've called other people out of Muslim faith. Uh, I don't know, was Brother Sanchez Christian or is Brother Sanchez Muslim or Buddhist? Brother Sanchez was good, but he was a mixture. He was like a combination of Buddhism, Christianity, and Muslim. You know. Um, and then Muhammad, because I did a series to Brother Sanchez, and it was a long series. It was a good series. It was Brother Sanchez and another. I don't know what she was either. Actually, Muslim too, and it was another channel at the same time called New Earth. Uh, and the girl that I made the series to the girl who narrated the channel. There was something about the sound resonance of her voice. I don't ever remember seeing her, so I don't know what she looked like, but she had a good voice. She used to narrate the channel, and I believe she was Muslim as well. So maybe she was the one that was Muslim, and Brother Sanchez might have been Christian based. Um, all right, let me move this camera because I don't, yeah, I could get nothing anyway with the rain. Pull this down, get it in the door, get this fucking thing out of the way. Okay, and I got a lot of blue sky in there now that's coming through. These clouds probably not going to be around all day. They're pushing off. I haven't even looked at which way what direction they're going. Just I think they're headed um, southeast, hard east, little bit south. Yeah, I'm gonna get the red filter. Um, yeah, that dude, the dude that I'm making the series out to right now, Delete Laws, the guy Chili from Delete Laws, he's taking a hard hit from a lot of people. He does do a lot of weird shit. He does do a lot of weird things. But I mean, everybody does. So, but the people that are cop suckers, I guess I like that term for them best. Cop suckers, they really rank him out hard. And something else that I've noticed, and I knew that I would, was that most of these auditor channels, most of them are agencies. They're all hired by agencies, all different sides. They run all sides of it. So, in other words, they're setting themselves up. They like to play all sides, these agencies. You could say the same thing for all channels pretty much. They all have their own different agencies that they go along and play with. But it's become more and more apparent as I'm watching it. You can figure out who. Let me rephrase this. I can somewhat usually figure out who's a real person and who's not. And like, here's the deal. He seems like a real person, and he also needs to make money just like everybody else. So he does try some forms of entertainment. I actually like Here's the Deal better than Delete Laws. Um, there's a lot of channels I like better than Delete Laws, but I just think that the Delete Laws had he's religion based, he's Christian based mindset, right? That was one of the reasons. I don't know if Brian is from Here's the Deal. I don't know. He's never mentioned or talked anything about that. But that was one of the things that I liked about Chili. Um, and then, I mentioned before when I started at the beginning, when I did video number 1 or 2 or 3 and all that, when I was talking about Chili, there's a few things that I like about him. Another one was that Chili has a realization for the fact that it's not just the cops, it's, the courts, it's the entire fucking system. Then I have other ones that I really like a lot, but I pretty much got them figured as paid agents that work both sides. Like Sean from the hell's Sean from? Channel's name now. I'm trying to think of it now. He's in New York. He's out in New York area, the Long Island audit. So Long Island audit has Sean there, and I like Sean. I actually like Sean's personality a lot. I think he's a good auditor. He's a lot more reasonable to the police than a lot of these auditors that go in and start being an asshole right away. But then I also feel empathy on the other side for auditors like Direct D, who and Chili, right? And when they go up to cops, and as soon as they start getting any kind of shit from the cops, they jump down their throat right away. Listen, you fucking pigs, blah 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 blah, and they start jumping on the cops. Right? I can understand that. I can actually understand that too. So I can't even call that fake. I can't even call that, him just trying to get views by being an asshole or nothing. Because really, the people that don't do that have to take the ride. They definitely have to take the ride. They don't know their rights. They're not confident about their rights, and they fucked up. Okay. So the thing that I wanted to impress on the auditors, just like I want to impress on everyone, is that they're all lies. All of it's all lies. So if you come and look at what it is I'm showing you, you don't have to go along with any of their lies anymore. And look at a beautiful eye up in the right hand corner coming. It's coming in, and they're not moving southeast. They're moving northeast. I'm watching them in the camera right now. That's a big, beautiful eye coming in way up in the right corner up here. So that eye is going to go in another eye. That there's many of them, but to get the other one just as crisp and clear, I'm trying to wait till I see it. All right, so I see one to the left of it, but the eye's not as clear as it just was. All right, now it's going. And what you're looking at, people, is you're watching the builders work. You're getting to watch the builders work as the clouds move through. That's why I like doing clouds. They have their own reason. I got to stop saying doing. I'm doing the moon. I'm doing the clouds. I'm doing the trees. I got to change my terminology. I'm extracting the electromagnetic nanocarbon from the clouds. And I'm showing you the true creator's work, feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, that I can show you that you can all see for yourself. It's not a matter of me showing it to you. I'm only showing you how to go look and see it for yourself. Don't be afraid to go see things for yourself. Stop listening to all these assholes because they're all full of shit. You know, I got to pussyfoot around the Christians and all the religions for that matter. You got to pussyfoot around them because their feelings get hurt when you prove that everything they've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, program has been a lie. I have no way to let you off the hook of that other than explaining to you that don't worry about it because your little dibbles and dabbles of truth that were allowed to you will be good enough when you go see things for yourselves and you go look at things for yourselves and see reality and truth for yourself. Then your idea of reality and truth will change. It will be beyond what you know of as the words reality and truth. It's beyond that. Because when we hear the words reality and truth, we really know that it's all lies, right? So when we go to the in front of a judge or we go to school and they tell us, yes, be honest and be true. Our parents, for that matter, our own parents, don't tell any lies, tell the truth. Every fucking thing out of our parents' mouth has been a fucking lie since the day we were born. They're lying motherfuckers. They always have been, and so are we. Don't be afraid of that. Go admit it. Go look at the system for yourself. You will have no choice but to admit it. I shouldn't say that because nobody ever does, even when I show it to them. I show it to them. I put it in their fucking face. I trick them into seeing it, and then they go right back into fucking denial. Oh yeah, yeah, that's God, that's Jesus. Oh yeah, that's Muhammad. Oh yeah, that's this and that's it. Tell you what, too. The other interesting thing about the religions is you can see where we started hiding everything during these first religions. Like for example, astrology, right? They had the constellations. I was talking about it the other day when I was doing that video about the moon. So when you go and realize that the true creator's imagery makes up that fucking moon, right? And then when you realize that the stationary stars, right, come down, the power from the stationary stars comes down through the moon. The moon acts as a electromagnetic nanocarbon regulator and then sends the power down the rest of the way to the earth, through the earth, back out the other side. You're going to see all this, right? You're going to fucking see it all, and then you're still going to try to remain in denial of what you're seeing. And astrology did that. And you can prove that astrology was a lie. They were not all them fucking shit that they were mapping out in the stars from one star to the other to make up Thor and make up their um, theology and talk about their theology. It's provably all a lie. So once you know that the system and you know that the stars are mapped out in the moon and you know you can go to the moon and collect the true creator's imagery and then you see the false creators slash creators build and have appreciation for it. Oh my God, all that shit that you wasted your entire life on and pressing into your children and pressing into your family was all a fucking lie. And then now we have the new religions of today. We have medicine. We have the medical industry. Total religion. All fucking false. All bullshit upside down world. That the entire medical industry can be brought back to very simply metallus. Nanometallus, nanoless metallus, biometallus, nanoless metallus, nanometallus, electrometallus, and biometallis. These are the metallis. Mittellies. Metallis. And that would be the entire honesty and the truth of the medical industry and how the medical industry makes trillions of dollars a year in every country. It's not just us. 7.8 billion zombie slaves. And we can see how natural medicine of hundreds of years ago was also a fucking lie. We can see all the fucking lies, and that's all they all were. And then you might go to your car and tap on the metal. You might go to something and start tapping on it. Is it real? Is it real? I mean, what the hell is this guy talking about? Not reality. Nah, I never said anything about living in a hologram. Never said anything about living in uh, you know, a hallucination. That's another one everyone likes to use. No, those are more religions. Those are just more religions. I never said that quantum physics was based on any reality. That won't be me saying that because I know that it's not. Quantum physics is not based on any fucking reality, but yet you put all your hopes behind it, you put your science behind it. It's all a lie. It's all a fucking lie, and it's provably a lie. We can simply dissolve all quantum physics, computer technology. We can, with one simple fact, there's no such thing as zero or infinity. They are human concepts. That's what makes them a such a thing. That's what makes them a thing, is because humans conceived them. Doesn't make it real. Doesn't make it true. Humans are the biggest fucking liars around here. My cat don't even lie as much as I do. My fucking dog don't lie as much as I do. We're human lying machines, man. All of us. Not just me. Not just you. Everyone. So the medical industry is a fucking lie. Science has been a lie. The education system has been a lie to enforce all of our new religions because the religions of old are now gone. They're not gone, but they're by the wayside. We now go along with all these. That's another thing that gets me again about the Christians is because the Christian based people are ranking out all these other religions and claiming their religion to be the one. I grew up Christian. I understand. I understand the purpose of faith, but that also was a trick. You do not need imagination and faith. You do not need imagination of angels floating around you in a human form. That's bullshit. You can see the builders, right? They're triangular shape. They don't look like humans, okay? They're builders. They're triangular shape all around you, from a nanoless particle size all the way up to the size of the clouds, the moon, huge fucking triangular shape. Looking at them right now in the camera, all colors. All colors. There's white ones in there, black ones in there, all different fucking sizes. See all the triangular shapes in those clouds? Yeah, it's not a coincidence. Those are the builders all around us. We can see that. If you uh, find them in their transparent state when you cannot see them, then all you have to do is add some heavy metals and minerals to the area that you want to view, and you will simply see the builders. And you will see the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast images that they build, whether it's in the clouds, in the ground, in the trees, in the rocks, in the stones, in the moon, in human scan, in any fucking thing that's around here. You'll be able to see it all, right? But no, nobody wants that. You don't want that. Oh, it's the end times. It's the end times. I can just feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, okay. It might be the end times, but it ain't the end times according to the creator. It's not the end times according to the true false creator slash creator. It's not the end times for them. It's the end time for the human consumption. It's the end time for the humans, the human concept. That's the end times. Humans are making these decisions. They always have been. They always have been. From the days we started to divide Adam on our own for malicious purposes to enslave the human population, not only the human population, but actually all creatures of the earth, whether they were created by the false creator slash creator biospecies or the human concept, the development of the human concept. Either way, it was all bullshit, man. It was all fucking bullshit. Everything has been a fucking lie. the clothes we wear, the fact that the shoes that we wear, what we make them out of, the books that we all put together, the fact that what ink does to us, lead, the all the things that we've taken away over the last 100 years that were helping us to fight from the bad biometallists that are taking out the bio species. All biospecies, the metallists are taking out. We ignore it. We just keep on ignoring it. No, no, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Anyways, on and on and on. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, over and over from the veil to the ground. I'm gonna figure out who I'm gonna start my next series to. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on another series. My series are all mumbled, jumbled, backwards, and whatever the fuck, anyways, because it really doesn't matter. Any time I put into trying to um, appease anybody else, yeah, they're going. They're going northeast. I thought they were going southeast, but they're not. They're going northeast. All right, so the what you call clouds are rolling northeast. Uh, for all the auditors that might come to this auditing series while I'm doing it, you gotta take the idea of the police officer out of the human concept in another way. These cops are our brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and friends, and even if you grow up in the ghetto, some of the people that you grew up with end up going and being cops. Even if you grow up poor middle class, as I did, then some of my friends from school, family, extended families, ended up deciding that they wanted to be cops. And in my opinion, for the wrong reasons, most of them power tripping. But still, I also, during this auditing series, realized how many times my rights have been violated throughout my life. I was made out to be a bad guy when I was not a bad guy just because everyone else agreed. Not necessarily the police that were taking me in custody for whatever wrongdoing I might have been doing, but my own family and friends, just people you know, right? Um, a story that I used to talk about quite often was about an uncle who went to jail for non-payment of child support. And then I had a lot of friends and other people that I knew that were in the same situation over the years. And it took a lot of years for me to realize that I was on the wrong side of it because everyone else was saying that they were losers because they didn't pay their child support. I just went along with that, even though there were reasons for them going to jail and getting fucked that were totally unlawful, totally unethical, totally against the child and children that were involved in those situations, because it was purposeful. It was purposeful. Break up the family. Don't allow families to be together anymore. How do you do that? They learned how to do that with the black humans. With black humans, it was pretty simple because black humans had families. They had family ties back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They didn't start losing that until they had their equal rights. And all of a sudden they're given equal rights. And the next thing you know, the next trick comes out of the handbag of the human population, especially here in the States. But we did it in England too. Everything we do here is done in England at the same time. And most of Europe for that matter. Um, but anyways, that's what we did. And so we said, okay, so they want equal rights, we'll give them fucking equal rights. Equal rights, all right. And then what we started doing was jailing them for all different kinds of stupid shit. So if you make marijuana, let's say, for example, illegal, we learned this under prohibition of alcohol, but if we make marijuana illegal, and we know that everybody's smoking marijuana because we allow it to come into the country by the gazillions, just like today we now do with fentanyl, right? We allow the fentanyl to come in, but it's illegal. It's illegal. You're not supposed to have it. You can go to jail if you get caught with it. You know, get the fuck out of here, man. Your fucking borders are wide the fuck open. And what, you just bringing it in so the police have a job to do? No, it's not just that simple. They want to fucking kill everyone off. They want everybody in jail. They want to break up every fucking family. And so that's the way they did it. So if most of the police time was being spent on the street putting black people away into jails for possession of marijuana, we did that for a lot of years, man. A lot of fucking years. And yes, white guys got locked up for it too, but not nearly as much. And then if other drugs came into it, cocaine or some other drug, oh my God, you're talking 6, 8, 10 years in fucking jail. It's ridiculous. The fucking laws are all upside down, backwards. Yet my friend Erica, our friend Erica, because she was a lot of people's friend, and she was such a nice girl, and she would have been a great girl if she would have been allowed um, the right to live. Um, but the two scumbags who took her life, raped her and murdered her, and threw her off a high rock when we were growing up, and I mean, it's just how fucked up that they only got 6 and 8 years. They were out in 6 years and 8 years. And then I had friends that had gotten busted with marijuana and cocaine in some cases that were serving, 6 to 10, and they got the whole time, and some even longer, depending on how much they had. Fucking ridiculous, man. Fucking ridiculous. The imagery's banging, by the way. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, over and over from the veil to the ground for anybody that may be watching these. What's up, girl? So, it's funny too that nothing's funny. It's just all strange, not really funny. I just think it's coincidental that the people that are making the best videos that I can find anyway, that I can find, happen to be these Muslims. They happen to be a Muslim faith. Are they more susceptible to reality? Are Muslims more susceptible to reality than Christians? Good question, Christians. Now, I have friends just in the last few weeks who are highly religious. They believe in Christ. They believe in God. They believe in these things strongly. I've offered them money to go do exactly what I'm doing right now with this camera. You see how easy this is, right? Aim the camera at the fucking clouds. Aim the camera at the fucking clouds. It's called digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the cloud level. But because I'm so all alone in all this, because I'm the only one, and I always always feel the need to hire people and try to bring others in. It's one of the ways that I used to trick people into seeing it, is to do this. And the people that I did hire in the past were all Christian faith. They were Christian faith. I remember one girl that I met in Lowe's. I met her in Lowe's, and I heard her talking about picking up some extra work and stuff like that. So I asked her, and I said, "Yeah, I'll give you $10 an hour to digitally collect the MNC." I showed her how to do it. I told her nothing about the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I told her nothing about any of that. All I told her, because I'd already been going through it with others, that I thought that it'd be better to not tell them what they were actually collecting. So I just said the clouds. And they thought that was very strange. So you're going to pay me $10 an hour to just stick my camera in the air. And then it was not only $10 an hour, but I told them photographs. If they got clouds like the ones that we're looking at now, I showed them. I'm looking, see all that texture? See all the texture, how much texture is there? I did not even tell them to look for the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I just wanted to wait and see if they seen it on their own. That particular girl. Anyways. And when they see it, they will not continue to look. She would not look at her own photos and videos that she was doing. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is I got railroaded on it because started giving her 25 cents per photo. If they were good photos, like right now, that would be a good photo. That would be a 25-cent photo. And I'm figuring at a quarter per photo, that's not going to be no big deal. She's going to have to take some time, go around, look for these certain areas of texture in the cloud level, and do them. So it ended up costing me too much money. I don't have any money. I don't have a job. I'm fucking poor as hell. My wife supports me. So any little bit of money that I was able to acquire on my own, because any money that I get from my wife goes towards groceries, the kids, things like that, stuff to do with the household and our family. I don't really have any right to go, buying equipment or buying stuff or paying people $100 a week to do videos of this and stuff. I mean, in reality, it should, because everybody should be behind what I'm doing, but they're not. They're all zombie slaves. So in other words, I don't have any right. I don't have any right to do these things, but I do them. I find a way. Okay, a year before that girl, there was the Freemasons. I had the Freemason shit going on, where the girl that was answered a YouTube ad that I had, and she was so freaking Freemasony, and she was working with the Freemasons that were Illuminati, Freemason, whatever the hell you want to call them, the enlightened ones. So these enlightened ones, and she came to me because her father and her stepfather were both Freemasons, and I got that out of her while we were talking, as we got to know each other. But I hired her off of Craigslist to do videography for me. She saw the pictures of the clouds that I had posted and of the moon and shit like that. And she's like, "Oh, I see this all the time." She knew nothing about condensation trails, chemtrails, mineral streets. She knew nothing about them. She knew nothing about angles and distances of perspective. It gave me an insight to how high up the chain of Freemasonry do they have to be before they're let in on the truth. And from what I could tell, there is nobody, none of the Freemasons that I was calling out, not Joe Rogan, not some of them don't even know that they're fucking being used. Right? They just join this fucking lodge, club, whatever, Freemasons, Illuminati. It comes with money. It comes with fame. It also means that you have to shoot yourself in the foot at some point, because you got to have both. Just like Bill Cosby or any of the Bill Clinton, and they'll give you all your fame and your fortune and your money and they'll give you all of that. That's true if you join their group, but you have to fall on your sword at some point, whenever they ask you to, and whatever it's over. It could be, you could be rolling along real nice, pro basketball player, fucking millions of dollars a year, castle, wife, kids, everything. And then All of a sudden, you just get the word. They don't call you on the phone. They don't call you on the phone to tell you. No, it's just an understanding that you will someday be asked to do what we tell you, and you're just going to go along with it. You have a right to hire a lawyer and use all your look. O.J. Simpson, perfect example. O.J. Simpson, Freemasony motherfucker, Illuminati ish, very much right up that alley, right? So he gets fame and fortune throughout his life, sports career, acting career, beautiful wife, kids, everything, got it all, millions of dollars, all this shit. But then he has to fall on the sword, you know? And we don't know that he really murdered his wife. We don't know that. That whole thing could have been a hoax. The whole thing could have been a fucking hoax. Just like I'm telling you about the school shootings. The school shootings, most of them are hoaxes. You know, uh, it's crazy. As a matter of fact, I would say a lot to most of all shootings, mass shootings that are put on every channel that everyone's talking about, most of them are hoaxes. Does not mean that people don't really die, because sometimes in these hoaxes, people really do die. But nonetheless, it's a hoax for whatever reason. They want to get the slaves in an uproar for one reason or another. So they put on these hoaxes, and they can do that. Look at the fucking imagery; it's beautiful, man. It really is. I mean, I know that by the time I upload these, they do break down the pixels. I noticed that even on my remasters, I noticed that they do that. They will keep breaking down pixels on me. They make the pixels larger, is what they do. So therefore, the imagery is not as crisp and clear as it normally would be. It makes the imagery look, no matter if I'm doing the trees, the clouds, whatever, I have to work a little bit harder on my lights and shadows in order to keep things looking like I want them to look. I want you to be able to see it. I want you to be able to see the detail of all these faces: feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. Yeah, so to auditors and shit like that, you guys, I'm not for calling out the cops the way that the auditors are calling out the cops. I think that the way to call out the cops is to call out the 7.8 billion zombie slaves. I think the way to call out the medical industry is to call out the 7.8 billion zombie slaves. I think the way to call out the judges in the court system is to call out the 7.8 billion zombie slaves. These 7.8 billion zombie slaves, us, are the big problem. We are the problem. We are the only problem. We're the major problem. We are the problem. Because we refuse to wake up and go see things for ourselves. We want to keep going along with all the lies we were indoctrinated with throughout our lives. Instead of just taking a breath, go out and look around and see that it's not what we were told. It's not the lies that we have been spreading ourselves. Everybody go to the fucking doctor every fucking day, every week, every month. And come on, man. What the fuck kind of religion is this? Kids got to go to school, got to get an education in this. Come on, man. Everything they're teaching these kids is a fucking lie, man. The math is a lie. The science is a lie. The history is a lie. It's all lies. So why are we doing this over and over and over again? It's all here now, everyone. It's all here for you to see. I'm showing it to you. I've been looking at it for 6 years now. I got a good enough of a grip on it where I can explain it to you so that when you go and look for yourself, you will see the same evidence that I've seen. You can make your own interpretations of it. You can try. You will have a hard time doing so.
Because when you see that it's all the things that I'm telling you, feline, canine, rodent, IPM, and the base, when you see that it's faces only, when you understand and realize the true creator's work and it's separated from the false creator slash creator's work, and you understand the difference between their work, then it's easy to understand the connection that we have with the true creator and the connection we have with the false creator slash creator. But no, you won't even let your fucking eyes go there. You won't let yourself even see it. You won't let yourself have any truth, reality, or honesty. Nobody does. Fucking bullshit, man.
right, I got another important video for you. This comes from Titan ADK. He's being pulled over by the Broomfield Police Department in Broomfield, Colorado. We'll get to their Facebook page in a second. But the reason I wanted to highlight this is because it exemplifies the fact, the objective fact, that traffic law trumps individual rights. Traffic law trumps the supposed supreme law of the land, the Constitution. If you have an expired tag, that gives them the justification to pull you over and interfere with your pursuit of life and happiness. We're going to go over this, but I want to show you that we are all at the mercy of the law enforcers who have qualified immunity. It's time to end qualified immunity. It's time to end Terry v. Ohio. It's time to overturn Pennsylvania versus Mims, and this is why.
These officers are pulling me over. They said it was a tag. Now they're saying that I have drugs. I have no drugs. I'm a business owner. I'm late to pick up my wife. Now they're trying to tell me that I have to step out. I haven't committed a crime. This is Matthew Wilson, CEO of Addictive Culture Entertainment. I'm going to pick up my wife. I got pulled over, cited by these officers, saying my tag. Now they're pulling me over, talking about they want me to get out. No crime has been committed, and they have reasonable, articulable suspicion by constitutional law that I have to have drugs in my car, and they are therefore allowed to do a search on my car.
Just a real quick reminder, reasonable, articulable suspicion does not come from the Constitution. It's lower than probable cause, which is in the Constitution, it's in the Fourth Amendment, and there has to be probable cause that you have committed a crime. Reasonable, articulable suspicion is a lower standard that comes from Terry v. Ohio from 1968. So we gotta understand this is another thing that trumps individual rights. This is another thing that capitalizes on and lords itself over the Constitution. That's Terry v. Ohio. Pennsylvania versus Mims. If the cop feels like his life's in jeopardy or his safety is being somehow tampered with, then they can ask you to get out of the car, actually demand that you get out of the car, and you've got to obey. In other words, you've got to give up your right to be secure in your property, to step out for officer safety. That's another thing that trumps individual rights. That's another thing that trumps the Constitution is officer safety.
Now, I've told you that I have no drugs in the car. I've told you that I'm not getting out the car because I know the law. I haven't committed a crime. If you want to violate my rights further, I promise you, you're going to be famous.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't normally do this, but we have some drug detectives that were following you, and yeah, and they think
where'd they follow me from? Tell me.
Well, I don't have that information, but
I travel this road every day. Okay. My wife is a doctor in Boulder.
They want you out of the car, and we want to do a sniff on the car with the drug.
I'm not. You don't have. Call your supervisor.
Okay, I'll get the.
Are you gonna violate my rights? I just told you to call your supervisor. I'm late picking up my wife, bro.
And I can get information from other officers that tell me they have probable cause to do a sniff on your car.
Because I'm a black man in a Beamer.
I have no idea you are a black man until I stopped you.
Because I'm a black man in a Beamer.
Did not know with the tinted windows.
I don't care about you, whoever your supposed detectives are that follow me.
You know, this could be about racism. There could be white supremacists on the force of the Broomfield Police Department there in Colorado, but it's not a racism thing, generally speaking. It's an authoritarian thing. It's a man who thinks that he has authority over another man because he has a costume on, because he has a shiny badge on, because he comes with the authority of the state. We got to understand, we got to stop dividing ourselves in black, white, Hispanic, Asian. We are just human beings, every single one of us. I don't care what article of clothing you're wearing. I don't care if you want to walk around in that funny costume, that Halloween costume. You don't have more rights than me, and I don't have more rights than you. This is an authoritarian issue. It's a statist issue.
And I travel this road daily, back and forth, multiple times. Yeah. My wife works in Boulder. If you violate my rights, I'm going to make a case against you, and I'm going to win. Okay. You're profiling me because I'm black.
Has nothing to do with that.
You're profiling me because I'm black, bro.
You just happen to be black, and I just happen to be black.
You just happen to not be the first officer of white descent to call me a drug dealer because I'm in a Beamer. My family is rich. My family is rich. I don't have to sell drugs. We own construction companies, restaurants, entertainment businesses, houses, real estate, and all type of shit. I don't have to sell drugs, bro.
A lot of people that sell drugs get rich, and then they have these other shell companies that are shell
Your
companies.
profile here, you gonna violate my rights? I asked you to call your supervisor.
Okay, we're working on that.
I've asked him to call his supervisor, everybody.
I want to go back and say, he wants my supervisor.
They're sitting on the side of a highway right now, one of the most dangerous places that you can be. Not only is his life in jeopardy, but the lives of the officers are in jeopardy. And the lives of the people who are passing at 60, 70 miles an hour on the highway, their lives are in jeopardy.
A dog sniffing it will be...
Bro, you can bring your dog. Bro, you can bring your dog all you want. You're gonna look stupid as fuck. I promise you.
Okay.
And I'm a super. I don't have to sell drugs, bro. My family rich than a motherfucker. I ain't gotta sell nothing. I'm set for life. You about to find out. Watch. Racist motherfucker. Pull me over for a tag. They said it was a tag. Now they're saying I'm a drug dealer. Detectives were following me.
That's not freedom. This isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. Every one of them sitting ducks every second they sit there.
Sir, excuse me, sir. A supervisor is on the way to talk to you, okay? But I do need you to exit the vehicle now.
I haven't committed a crime and I'm not getting out the car. You're not going to violate my rights. I know the rights. I got lawyers. We got lots of lawyers.
I appreciate that, sir. But
I didn't even have to give him my information and I cooperated. If I was a drug dealer, why did I run?
Okay.
If I was a drug dealer, why did I give him my... I know the law. I don't even have to give him my information.
Well, you do.
Because I haven't committed a crime, bro.
Okay. You operate your vehicle with expired registration.
That's not a crime, bro.
Yes, it is.
That's civil court, bro.
Okay, so listen to me, sir.
For that.
Sir, we're asking you nicely. Legally speaking, we have the right. The Supreme Court has already decided we can ask you to get out of the vehicle. You choose to not get out of the vehicle as a criminal offense in itself.
He's right. He's right. The Supreme Court has decided on that. Pennsylvania versus Mims. If they want you to get out of the car, according to the Supreme Court, you have to get out of the car. You have to obey the command of the cop.
We don't want to go that area. Go that route.
Watch this, y'all.
Okay? So a supervisor is on the way, but you need to get out of that vehicle because if you don't, we're going to remove you from the vehicle and you'll be charged with a crime.
You'll be violating my rights and I'm going to sue the fuck out of you.
And that's your choice as an American citizen.
Oh.
But we don't want to have to get that way. So if you get out of the vehicle, we don't have to use force when we don't have
Hey,
to.
look, I'm going to let them search, y'all. Watch this.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Take the fifth. The more you say, the worse it is for you because they're going to accumulate data. They're going to take your words. They're going to twist them and they're going to beat you over the head with it. They're going to create a case. And that's what they're doing. They're creating a data file on you and they're creating a case against you. So even if you say something tongue in cheek, even if you say something in a facetious way or a sarcastic way, they're going to take that as, well, he said we could search his vehicle. He gave us consent. No, you say, I do not consent. I want my lawyer.
All y'all badge numbers ain't here. I want you to check everything in here. I'm gonna open up the trunk for you too. I'm opening up the trunk for you. I want y'all to search. Have a good search. Have a good search. Watch this, y'all.
It's nothing personal.
It's because I'm black and I'm in a beamer, cuz.
It's nothing about race.
You know my family rich as fuck. You about to find out.
Which way? It's nothing about that, though. It's because of that right there. December 16th of 2022.
So if it was a tag, your sighting date to me is tag. This individual told me that detectives, drug detectives were following me, bro.
That might be
There's people out here doing 90 and 65. You chose to pull me over. You cited, I know the law, bro. I got lots of lawyers and lots of money. You told me it was a tag, but now all of a sudden, drug detectives follow me from where? Where they follow? From a drug house? Because I'm black, I must have came from the trap.
It's nothing about race.
I must have came from the trap house,
I
huh?
promise you right now. I can promise you right now.
Here comes the dog. Also, another thing that trumps your individual rights, another thing that lords itself over the Constitution is the drug dog. The drug dog is the choice of cops to violate your rights. It's another opportunity for them. It's another justification that they can pull out of their arsenal to beat you over the head and let you know, hey, you're not as free as you thought you were in America, buddy.
It's not about race. It's nothing about that. I understand your frustration. Have you had any good experience with officers?
What's your name and your badge number?
My name's Officer Zamora. I'll give you my card as well. My name's Officer Zamora with the Broomfield Police Department. My badge number is 5042. Here's my card.
5042.
Yes, sir.
What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Ehlers, badge number 5475.
What's your name and your badge number?
J. Lingle, 574.
Like I said, it's not about
Your dog didn't find nothing because I don't have drugs. I'm a business owner.
Just do me a favor real quick. Stay right here. I get your agitated and I get it.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna just shut up.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Look at this, y'all. 5 of them. 5 cops. They all came for me. I'm a drug dealer.
And even if he was, how many Walmart, Walgreens, Rite Aid trucks filled with drugs, filled to the brim with drugs pass by there? See, it's not that they're against drugs. It's not that the cops are against drug dealers. They just don't want you to offer competition against the people that they protect. It's a protection racket.
It's nothing out of disrespect. It's not even personal. It's not because of race. It's not because of
First of all, you let you know what's going on now, okay? So my dog did indicate the odor of narcotics in the vehicle, so we are going to search the vehicle, okay?
Your dog, he smelled narcotics?
He indicated.
Watch this. Hey, look, hold on.
Cops are trained to lie, and they're trained to train their dogs to false hit, according to what some experts have said. Here's part 2.
Your racist bitch ass.
My apologies, you're losing your appointment there.
Your dog didn't hit on my car. I know the cop tricks because I got a brother that's a cop. The cop didn't hit it. Your dog didn't hit on shit. And when you don't find nothing, just make sure you show up and say it in court.
I wonder if this guy backs the blue. If his brother's a cop, I wonder if he's a backer of the blue. Back the blue till it happens to you.
Trust me, I got you.
Going through this guy's car. Bunch of armed road pirates ransacking this guy's private property.
I want to watch you search my vehicle. That's my right. That's my right. I can watch him search my vehicle. I'm right here.
You have to be right on his back.
I'm right here. Yeah, I'm right here.
Go back there.
I'm right here.
You gotta go back there.
I'm not violating.
I don't want to put my hands on you, but you need to go back here.
I'm not violating.
Please follow me.
I have the right to.
You have the right to
got a body camera on.
If
Well, you said
I got a body cam on that I can manipulate anytime. I can turn the audio off. I can turn it completely off as I plant my drugs. I don't trust cop body cams. And even if they didn't turn their audio off, even if they didn't shut their body cam off, how long is it going to take you to get that video evidence for yourself? And when you get it, are they going to redact something? Are they going to edit things out? Are they going to edit where they drop that little baggie of whatever under your seat?
Let's please walk back to no farther. Right where we were, because that's right now. You do have the right to watch. That's fine. Farther, please. Farther. Like I said,
I'm fine. I ain't doing nothing to you.
I know you're fine. That's why I don't want to.
I'm not doing nothing to them.
I don't want to touch you with nothing. That's
I'm
why
not doing nothing to them. They violate my rights.
Please stand over here.
They violate my rights.
A little bit farther. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, you're more than welcome to watch. That's fine. But please, when I ask you, please, at least respect that. Respect what I'm asking you to stay over. Please.
I respect people that treat humans like humans.
I'm trying.
That's what I respect.
I'm trying to show you respect right now. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm trying to show you respect right now while my fellow armed gang members are ransacking your private property. How am I doing in the respect department?
I don't even know your first name. But right now, I'm still trying to show you respect. I'm still trying to talk to you, man. Man, you're going to do that.
It's okay. I'm a drug dealer.
And me personally, the reason I show up is because I just pulled a traffic stop over there. It's nothing wrong because of anything that you're saying. But literally, I was just right there. Okay, I just want to clarify.
I got drugs in the car, y'all. I got pounds of cocaine and heroin. I've been trafficking all over the globe.
This is Pitiful, man. This is Police State USA.
This gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one right here.
You've got no rights on the road. They are the pirates. They are the kings.
But I didn't have to get out the vehicle, and y'all couldn't pull me out. I know the law. So you threatened to charge me. That's something else I'm gonna bring up in the lawsuit.
So I'll explain that statute. What that means. So
I know the statute. I got a good lawyer.
so that case law, actually, so that case law says that in any traffic stop, any time, for any reason, an officer could ask a person to exit the vehicle.
The
They
law
should ask-
also says I don't have to get out the vehicle.
Pennsylvania versus Mims. There you go.
Crime was committed.
Thanks, Supreme Court.
Crime was committed.
So it does though. So anytime an officer pulls somebody over, even if they think that for officer safety purposes, and they prefer to pull a person out of the car, they can.
They said I'm a drug dealer, y'all. Watch this.
Can I talk to you, please? Just out of respect. That's all I ask.
The real pirate says, "Can I talk to you, please? Just out of respect. All I'm asking is just a little respect. Please listen to me." As we're going through your private property, treating you like a dog, just demeaning you, putting you under our heels. Can you please respect me? Sure.
You may not be the one, but you're a culprit to it. You may not be like this, but you're an active culprit to it.
I'm at least trying.
He is like them. I'm at least trying. Well, if you were trying, officer, then you'd be protecting this guy's individual rights like you swore you would. You put your hand on a Bible, you raised your right hand toward heaven, and you said you protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, turn around, because there are your domestic enemies you're supposed to be protecting this man from.
He's trying to be one-on-one, man-to-man, and just have a conversation with you. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm not
I
disrespecting
don't
you.
know you, man. You don't know
I'm not
me.
disrespecting you.
No, well, in a way, you're not letting me talk. I want to just explain it. That's all. I just want to talk to you, man-to-man. You understand what I'm saying?
Look, they done went front back. No drugs, guys. No drugs, guys.
If not, right. If not, then no big deal. Okay?
I'm black and I'm in a Beamer. That's why. We can't have nothing without being drug dealers. I worked my ass off for years in construction before I built my own company.
So a productive member of society is being stopped and detained and harassed by not only unproductive members of society, but actually armed bandits who are committing roadside piracy, not adding to the community, but taking from the community to increase the coffers of the state. So they can become more powerful, so that they can take away your rights and then exercise their own supposed rights in their heads. This is a classic case of mental cognitive dissonance.
Show me.
You seem like a hard worker.
You seem like a hard worker.
And he lied. He said his dog hit on my car. Life in America as a black man, y'all. I'm gonna make him famous.
How about as a white man? How about Daniel Shaver? How about James Boyd? How about Johnny Wheatcroft? If they're white or black, it doesn't matter. When you get a uniform, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It corrupts their minds, it corrupts their hearts, and they actually believe that there's something that they're not, that they're above you, that you are underneath them, and they will trample you and justify the trampling.
Sir, you want to sit back in the vehicle? You want to wait out here? Tell the supervisor you want to wait in the vehicle.
I want you to give me my ticket so I can go to my appointment and pick up my wife.
You don't want to
And
tell
you
your
already
supervisor?
disrespect. You just lied. He just lied and said that his dog hit on my car. Did you find any drugs, sir?
No, sir.
I know you didn't. Because I know no different. Man, give me my ticket.
Okay, if you want to take a seat back in the vehicle.
All right, there's one more part to this. This is the last part, a minute and 52 seconds.
You want to step out or you?
You said somebody gave you intel that I was a drug dealer and drug detectives followed me?
They gave me intel to stop a car, to identify you, and then also to sniff the car.
Who is these individuals that told you this? I have a right to know. My lawyer's going to want to know too.
Yeah, well, it'll be in a copy of our documentation.
A copy of your documentation?
Yes.
You documented me when I was originally stopped for my tag.
Yes. And that was my reason for stopping you.
But you're documenting me.
Everything is documented. It's everything is documented. Like this.
So who are these people? Where they follow me from? You said they followed me. Where did
I
they
don't have all
follow me?
that information. It was a really quick, brief conversation to catch up to your car. They stopped.
We're only provided certain information. We're only provided when they call him and say, hey, this guy, we have information that may or may not have any sort of substance such as drugs or anything like that may be in the vehicle. If there's a violation, such as your tag right there, if there's something,
I can stop you.
you can stop.
And I can get your information.
But
I can use that as a justification to conduct my fishing expedition.
you originally said it was my tag, but then you said I was a drug dealer, so under suspicion of heavy narcotics.
Because I was going to let you go on a warning with the tag, and that's why I asked you if you had any narcotics.
But why? Because I was black? Because black people always have drugs? It must be because black people always have drugs.
I had no
That's
idea
why.
what your race was until I got up to you, sir.
Okay, but when you got up to me and seen that there was a black man behind the wheel of this brand new Beamer,
Don't mind. Can we talk real quick? Can we talk real quick over here?
Potential
'Cause I just
I'm
want
gonna
to
sue the fuck out their ass. Watch this. City of Broomfield about to pay me. You gonna add some more to our family portfolio.
And that's it with that. No oversight, no accountability, no personal responsibility, and no punishment. This is the
Oh, there's the guy again. There's the guy.
You here, sir?
I was trying to tell her I'm just here documenting some
You
stuff.
don't need to document. You got to exit the building.
Oh no, this is public.
No, it's not. This is a private business.
So this is not the school district?
This is
the
public,
maintenance
this
yard?
is public property. Come on out.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a
I
question.
need you to come out,
Let me
sir.
ask you a question.
Okay, I'm gonna just call the police.
What's your name?
In position here? Just public record, ma'am.
Holy overpaid public servant snob psychopaths, Batman.
Your salary, date of hire, write-ups. We're not here for that. If you could just identify properly. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. We will get your information, though.
Wait till you see the massive salary public servant Melanie rakes in as she treats the public with massive contempt.
I have nothing to say.
Well, you just said something right now.
Don't.
So obviously you do. This is how our public servants treat us, guys. Well, you could have said, excuse me. He would have been happy to move. And if you guys notice, they got cameras right up there watching us. I wonder if they make any issues about that. Hello. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you.
Keep your eyes peeled because we're also going to have a special appearance by San Ramon's Three Little Pigs. Or is that Three Blind Mice? And keep your eye on this one right here because he's got some strange body and eye movements going on.
I'm not asking. I'm letting you know you're dismissed at this point. You can get back to work. So treat members of the public with a little more respect. You will talk to your boss properly. Am I clear?
You are not my boss.
Am I clear?
You are not my
Am I clear? Lower your tone. You work for me. You work for me. You work for me. You're now making your department look bad. You're shaking, man. You need to get a candy up there, bro.
What are you filming?
You're filming me. Now I'm gonna have to go do a public records request on you. You're a public worker. You work for me. I don't work for you.
Before we get started, subscribe, become a channel member, and grab a shirt. Links in the description. My purpose here is simple. To highlight channel owners who excel not only at uncovering the overt and covert tyranny residing in the hearts of our so-called public servants in order to hold them accountable, but to also put a spotlight on those who are also proficient at calmly and firmly articulating and asserting the unalienable rights each and every one of us is born with. It's kind of the concept of if one man advances justice anywhere, we can all advance justice everywhere. Today's video comes from the Anthony X channel. If you get something out of his work, visit him, subscribe to his channel, and let him know here's the deal sent you. In this video, Anthony X and Angry Vet Audits conduct an audit of the San Ramon Valley Unified School District. Now, spoiler alert, what they encounter are overpaid, pompous public servant snobs who harbor great disdain for the public that they're supposed to be serving. Shockingly, one of these snobbish servants, Assistant Superintendent Melanie Jones, makes a staggering $291,000 frickin' dollars per year.
What that?
You can't be taking pictures.
Really? Well, I didn't know that.
Who are you from?
Who am I? You mean where am I from, or who am I from, or what do you mean?
Who are you here to see?
Who am I here to see? Right now, you. Take care, brother. Appreciate it. I know you got a tough job, man.
In a minute. Thank you.
Man, I'm just got a busy schedule.
Hey, he's got work to do.
I guess I can't sign for it. I'd help you out if I could. So this lady's more concerned about us recording than getting this guy on the road. He's probably got, who knows, 500 stops today. I could be way off, but he's a busy guy.
I'm fine, thank you.
He just needs a quick signature. The lady took off. We just want to get him back on the road. Oh, there's the guy again. There's the guy. He's back.
What are you here, sir?
Like I was trying to tell her, I'm just here documenting some stuff.
You don't need to document. You got to exit the building.
Oh no, this is public.
No, it's not. This is a private business.
So this is not the school district?
This is
the maintenance yard?
This is public property. Come on out.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, I'm gonna just call the police.
There you go. So this is how our public servants treat us, guys. He was the guy giving me the hard time.
No, you can't go. You can't go.
I'm not going behind her, man.
Whoa, man.
Excuse me.
You can't just barge through people like that.
Yeah, when this is my door.
Just say, excuse me, we're not blocking you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Walk through solar like that. Barge through. It's not a workspace. I'm standing right here. This is not a workspace.
Yeah,
That is a
you
workspace.
were blocking my
Please don't keep sending.
Well, you could have said, excuse me. He would have been happy to move.
Can you guys please let her do our work?
Oh, absolutely. We're not going to prevent her.
Okay, what can you guys
There was actually someone here before trying to get a signature, and she took off, and she was neglecting her work. She was neglecting her work.
Okay, I need you to leave now, please. This is our workspace.
Well, I'm not going to go in your workspace. Don't worry.
That is our workspace. We cannot work in there with that.
Of course you can.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You could get back to work, though, and stop wasting tax dollars.
I will as soon as you're able to depart. You guys' names.
You can call me a guy with a camera number 1. This is a guy with a camera number 2. We're doing good until she almost ran us over. So you're justifying it. You're justifying it.
With proper etiquette,
John, let's start fresh and just have her apologize. We'll be on our way. It's not appropriate.
let's not try and validate your actions here.
John, humor me. Let's say she was blocking my path. Do I have a right to run her over? Do I have a right to just trample all over her? Uh-oh, guys. They got the screen wide open while we're right here. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you a chance to go and turn it off then. So what you're saying is there's confidential information at the desk where the public is? That's not right.
Now, if all an auditor ever uncovered was the private information of a member of the public on a public computer whose monitor was facing a public lobby, that's all the proof we need of the validity of the legitimacy of the auditing community. Do you realize the damage that could be done to a person simply because a public employee haphazardly revealed private information?
Just a recommendation. Let's turn the monitor this way so the back of it's towards us. That's a simple solution. I'm here to help you, man. We're gonna walk you through this. You're gonna be okay. And if you guys notice, they got cameras right up there watching us. I wonder if they make any issues about that. Hey, John, do you have a business card by any chance? Do you have a business card?
I don't.
Gotcha. You don't have a card though, like with like your email and. Gotcha. Perfect. Hey, just for a second though, we need to get him back to work.
1 second.
Time's up. Okay, if you want to turn around then.
I want to go to the back.
I just had to get your badge real quick. Thanks.
So can you get your name now? If you give it to the partner. What's your name?
I didn't provide my name.
What's your name?
In position here? Just public record, ma'am. Your salary, date of hire, write-ups. We're not here for that. If you could just identify properly. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. We will get your information, though.
And this right here is the San Ramon Unified School District Assistant Superintendent Melanie Jones. Well, Melanie, according to a records request, makes over $291,000 a year. If she works just 2,080 hours per year, which is 52 weeks times 40 hours, she's earning $139 per hour. And she can't even bring herself to pretend to be friendly. I'd come out singing songs, passing out candy and chocolates, maybe even presents, and answering any question that's asked of me for that kind of money. Probably with the dumbest smile on my face to boot. Heck, I might even throw in a complimentary massage and shoe shine. I'd be the best servant you've ever seen.
You're welcome to.
Why not just shine like a star and say, oh, I'm so-and-so, I'm the deputy clerk, or I'm the supervisor. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to help you, I'm here to serve you. You know, we're here for the people. It's just a camera, ma'am. Let's start fresh. Would you like to identify properly as a public worker, which is public record, ma'am, or are you gonna just keep,
I have nothing to say.
well, you just said something right now, so obviously you do. You called John back there probably to tell him to get back to work. Sounds like you do have a lot to say. So guys, we're at the district office here, and this is how they treat members of the public. Now we're gonna have to do a FOIA request. So ma'am, I'd like to do a FOIA request. Do you have a Public Freedom of Information Act form, or would you like to write it down and put the request in for me?
Get your information and I will make sure that that was.
Well, I need you to write it down. That's how the Freedom of Information Act works. Because, like, what if I write it down and you can't read my writing or something? So I need you to write it down, and I'd like to get a signed, stamped, and date copy. So.
Date copy of what?
Of the freedom, the request.
What are you requesting?
Well, can you get a pen and paper, and I'll give you the information?
I'm asking you what the.
I need it written down, though,
If
ma'am.
you're both talking at the same time, I can't even understand you. So clarify what it is that you're requesting. If you need a form from the district, I will provide you what you need.
I do. I need a public records request form, or a blank piece of paper and a pen, and you can take my information down. Whatever's easier for you. I'm flexible.
I believe that information's on the district website, but let me.
I don't have access to the website, though, ma'am. It's supposed to be readily available to any member of the public during normal business operational hours. Got someone else over there, guys? Hello. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you. The way the law works is you have to take that request and then you pass it on to the proper channels to the proper person. Whether they give us the information or not, that's a whole nother story, but you have to take our request. Or if you want to give me a blank piece of paper, then if you're refusing to write it down, I'll write it down, and then you can sign, date it, and stamp it.
Excuse me, I don't want to be recorded.
No?
I don't want to be recorded, thank you.
The way you treated me, I really don't care.
Christy.
You can
I'm
go
gonna
ahead and
record you all
go
day.
back to the
In case you
department.
try and help me again.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got our thumbnail.
You're just missed.
Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't have internet access, ma'am.
And now they got my.
Sorry, just to clarify, just for the record, ma'am, are you refusing to take my request?
No, I'm giving you the
No,
process to.
My question is, to clarify, then you are refusing to take it? So, ma'am, I can't force you to do it. I'm not going to be here all day. There's no point in that, going around in circles here. Just to clarify, though, for the record, are you refusing to take my request, my public information
I
request?
never said that.
Well, so let's take it then.
I never said that. I gave
So you are
the email to
refusing.
Submit your request.
That's not my question. My question is, are you refusing to take my
I never
information?
said that.
Are you refusing to take my request?
I'm not going to continue anymore.
Are you refusing to take my request?
And I've given you the email to submit.
We will be exposing this behavior. This is unacceptable. This is tyrannical behavior. She works for the people. This is a front desk where people come to get service, and she's refusing to give me service. What if someone comes in like myself that currently does not have access to the internet? She's basically saying if you come in, or what if you have a disability under the Disability Act and you can't You don't have access to write. You don't read or write. She's basically saying she will not help you. You can get no public records. Unreal, guys. Ma'am, the sooner you help us, the sooner we can leave. Isn't that your goal to get us out of here? Hello?
Hey.
These gentlemen are discussing.
No, we're not. We're just trying to get public records, and she doesn't want to help us.
What are you guys trying to get?
Public records. Well, yeah, I'd like her to take a public records request, and I'd like her to submit it, sign it, date it, and stamp it, give me a copy back, and we'll be on our way. She has to, by law, take our request, and then she has to pass it to the proper channel. Whether they give us that information or not, that's a whole other story. They might redact some of the information, they might give it to us. But she has to take our request. The Disability Act, if I'm not able to read or write, she has to take that request. That's the law.
Is this how you guys normally redirect to the website?
Everything is directed through the superintendent's office, so all of the public records request act go through the emails are submitted to the superintendent's office, and that's how we process them. We don't, he asked for a form, we don't have a form.
Now, I just want to point out a consistent theme in all of these auditing videos. Public servants in these publicly accessible buildings often freak out about one man with a camera. And to soothe their alarm and their panic and to help quell their fears, they ironically and hilariously call more guys who bring even more cameras into the freak out zone.
No, but I'm flexible. I also gave her the option. If she wants to write it down on a blank piece of paper, that's fine too. That'll actually be sufficient. Sign it, date it, stamp it, give us a copy back, one for them, one for us. Then they have 10 days to respond to us whether they're going to give us that information or not. Other than that, though, I don't know why she wasted resources calling you guys. We're just in a public lobby here.
Is there any other route we can go besides just directly to the...
I can give him something to write his request on, and he can fill it out and submit it to me, and I'll take it.
She didn't say that before, but just so you know, the reason, though, I don't want to do that, because I've had this happen before, and that's why the law is the law, that she has to take it, because there have been times when someone, like, let's say I write something down, and she can't quite read my chicken scratch, and then I don't get the records I need on there. So I need her to write it down. That way, when she submits those records to the proper department, if they have a question, they can contact her and clarify what it is.
They can contact you. And
well, it's gonna be anonymous, ma'am. It's gonna be anonymous. I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks to get that information. So how could they contact me?
Well, if you really want the information, you provide your information.
No.
That's not how the law works, though, ma'am. That's not how the law works.
Just get to make a...
Ma'am, it's a simple request. I told you I'd be on my way. Take my request. It'll take you 2 minutes. Write it down, sign it, date it, stamp it. We're gone. You'll probably never see us again.
I'll provide you some information.
And remember, you have 10 business days to reply.
And what I'm wondering, though, is how come when they weren't here, you said you wouldn't even do that? You wouldn't even give us a piece of paper. It had to be on email.
I told you I didn't have a form.
You actually said you didn't want to talk to us.
So I'm not going to argue with these gentlemen all afternoon.
Yeah, just do your job, take the request, submit it to where it needs to be submitted. And then
if you guys would just like to let her know that we're allowed to record in here, like, let's get you guys back to work. I know you're just doing your job. You got a call here. I don't blame you guys for doing your job. I'm
remain here as long
on there. Yeah. I'm not asking. I'm letting you know you're dismissed at this point. You can get back to work. So treat members of the public with a little more respect. You will talk to your boss properly. Am I clear?
You are not my boss.
Am I clear?
You are not my
Am I clear?
You are not my boss.
Am I clear? Am I clear?
Correct.
Am I clear?
Correct.
Lower your tone. You work for me. You work for me. You work for me. These guys were doing awesome. You're now making your department look bad.
So what is it exactly that you need?
Public records request. Public records request.
Okay. And
I'm working on a story.
the email address
I don't
she
have.
provided you isn't sufficient.
I currently don't have internet access right now. I'm actually in the process of getting new internet access at my house. I'm using this as a recording device. Bottom line is, I don't want to do it that way. The law states she has to take my request. They don't have to give me the information,
Yeah.
but they have to put it to the right channels, the right department.
is there something you can write up?
Yeah. Is there a little
Just a blank piece of paper. It's so simple. That's all we were asking for.
Sure. And that blank piece of paper will include not your information, but just the information
That I'm requesting, and then we're going to come back at a later date and see if that information is available. And if it is, great. If it's not, then we'll take it up with the proper, their supervisors or whoever we need to take it up with, the city manager, the mayor, whoever it needs to be done.
What was that form you were talking about? Is that something?
We don't have a form. He asked for a public.
You said it was online, ma'am.
Request form, and I made a phone call because I don't process those. So I made a phone call to the superintendent's office to find out if that there is a form.
You could go on that website and print it up for us.
This is an email. So the normal process that we use is for people to submit them through email, but I've asked one of my staff members to go back and check to see if
how can someone,
excuse me,
how can a citizen create anonymously a request if you have to email?
So your coworkers going back. I'm checking to see if there's something else.
Yeah, we're code 4 though. We don't need 3 guys with guns here for 2 guys with cameras. I know you're going to stay here as long as you want because you don't work for the people. We get it. We get it.
I also work for them. So,
do you mind identifying yourself?
Sure.
What?
The name of the record.
Is that R-I-T? There you go.
Badge number?
Huh? I do not have to provide you with a badge
Cat number? Yeah, you do actually. It's part of your policy.
Badge number 50.
What policy is it?
Your identification policy.
This is the field training officer right here.
Your identification policy and your 750-page manual that regarding identifying cordially, respectfully to any member of the public upon request.
Field training officer.
Did you just graduate or what's going on here?
I am required by
I get your name, badge
policy and law. We will only require you with report the name or identification.
You gotta verbally say too. It's also professional, even if there wasn't a policy. Now, just saying right here. If you're in a court and the judge asks you your name, are you gonna say, "Oh, I'm right here"? Would you say that?
Is that the way you train officers out in the field?
I hope you're not a training officer. Just put it this way. Let's do it easy. Do you have a business card? Do you have a business card? Can I get one, please? Do you have a business card by any chance? Thank you, sir. You're shaking, man. You need to get a candy up there, bro.
Are you the one who called earlier about the other letter we got?
Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate it, man. You guys have a great attitude. I appreciate you. Well, tell you what, Howard, let me just get a picture of it. You can save it in case someone else doesn't have a camera.
I have worse.
You sure? All right. It'll be 2 minutes to write down.
He wants us to write it.
That's the law, man.
The American Disabilities Act requires you to write it if it's
I have,
And I'm checking to see if
ma'am, I have terrible handwriting. Ma'am, I have terrible handwriting. That's why I'm asking you to do it. I'm not trying to do it to be mean to you or anything.
You don't even know how to take the. Miss Jones, they need you and I'll take the request stuff.
We're gonna finally get some service guys.
You guys know I need to do the PR day, right? Yeah, so that was city issue. Okay, where do you want it?
So this is her card, or I was just here?
Or you city official? Yeah. So
That's this lady right here, just to clarify. I was just sitting down here.
no, this was Miss Jones. That was out. Oh, that was Miss Jones. Yeah. No, this was Miss Jones. That was out. Oh, that was Miss Jones. Yeah.
So the lady that was just sitting here.
Miss is the one that handles our PRAs.
Gotcha.
So I need to know the name, organization, address, email, so I can do that. And
No, we're gonna. It's anonymous. You can just put down guy with a camera.
Okay. And what's the organization?
Just a independent journalist.
Okay. What's the address? Just
no address.
So
we roam the earth, just peacefully working on stories. There you go.
All right. Do you have an email?
No, sir.
Okay. No email. So what? How do you want us to get you the public record?
So I'm going to put the request in, and then I'm going to come back in about 2 weeks to give you a chance to see if you're able to do it. Then if you need more time to do it, then you guys can say, hey, I need more time. Or
what are the specific disruptions of requests?
So the request that I would like is the lady that you just relieved, that you were taking over for. I'd like her name, date of hire, her official position, and her 2022 salary, including all regular pay.
Go again. Name, date of hire,
position, her 2022 complete salary, and then also during her course of employment here at this district office, has she had any prior disciplinary actions? If so, what were they? Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's a free kind of freedom of speech, brother.
I just like to check in and get to know people and what they're doing.
I wish that.
We'll talk words. You guys not your fans, legends?
Absolutely. But real quick, see, if everyone here had this attitude that you're having right now, this whole thing would have been prevented. I probably wouldn't have even requested that information. It could have been prevented just by simple de-escalation courses, maybe, with the staff. And, you know, so I'm serious, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. You know, just letting you know, like, hey, when someone comes in, Hey, can I get your name and position? It's usually typical, especially as a point of contact at the front desk. I can understand if she's like back in the mailroom all day, she might not be used to people walking around. But when she's the point of contact to the first person someone's going to see when they walk through that door, she should have a big smile on her face. Hey, how's it going? What can I do for you guys? Probably would have been out here in 5 minutes.
Thank you. I would like to add that I like that little conditions. Check it out and make sure that's what you want. And I can do that.
So about 3 weeks we'll come back, we'll pick it up, and then perfect.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
All right, you guys enjoy the day, get some good lunch.
Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where a sergeant with a long history of police misconduct assaulted an innocent man by pushing him out of the police department and snatching his phone from his hands.
You're going to get arrested.
Why did he seize your property? Now what are you manhandling him for? Leave me alone. You do your business. Don't mind mine. Excuse me?
Come over here with me. You can't stand here and start screaming at people across the street.
He started hollering at me first, sir.
Walk over here with me.
I'd ask you to back up and leave me alone.
You're going to get arrested.
I'm going to get arrested for what?
You're interfering with the police investigation.
I'm not interfering with nothing. I'm not interfering with nothing.
You can't start screaming along the road.
When somebody hollers at me, I'm going to respond back. You can't lock me up in this way.
On August 8th, 2023, the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department in Cumberland, Maryland, had a guy pulled over on the side of the road, and it looked like they were harassing him. While the Sheriff's Department had the road partially blocked to the point where it was impeding traffic, Tri-State Audit News decided to exercise his unalienable right to record these public officials on the side of the public roadway. Now, since we know how dreadfully afraid cops are of video cameras, we can pretty much predict how this ends up. But stay tuned because there is a twist.
Yeah? Why did he seize your property? So why is he seizing? Why is he seizing your property? No, it's not. try to come up fools. Yeah, you get out. Oh, man, you cut out there. That'll work just fine. Man has nothing on him. Keep his stuff anyway. They don't care if that causes problems in somebody's life. All they care about is their ego. Their ego, their reputation being hurt. They don't care if they ruin that man's life. Now what do you manhandle on him for? Leave me alone. You do your business. Don't mind mine. Exactly. They don't care if they mess the man's life up. All for their ego. Excuse me?
Come over here with me.
Excuse
You
me?
can't stand here and start screaming at people across the
Excuse me?
street. You
He started hollering at me first, sir.
walk over here with me.
I'd ask you to back up and leave me alone.
You're going to get arrested.
I'm going to get arrested for what?
You're
For
interfering
what?
with the police investigation.
I'm not interfering with nothing.
screaming along
I'm
the
not
road.
interfering with nothing. The cop hollered at me first. Thank you very much.
You can't do
I'll
that.
tell him he can't do that. I'm going to respond when somebody hollers at
You
me.
can't start screaming along the road.
When somebody hollers at me, I'm going to respond back.
Move off the shoulder over to the side. Sir,
Right now I'm filling.
you're going to get locked up for disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct? You can't lock me up for disorderly conduct.
You're under
All
arrest.
right, they're locking me up for disorderly conduct. I wasn't disorderly. You hollered at me.
Whoa, you didn't swing that. You just burned me.
Swinging.
You just burned me with your cigarette.
How did I burn it?
You just burned me with your cigarette.
Okay. All right. Okay.
For assault.
Come on.
So, Tri-State Audit News was arrested.
not because he actually committed a real crime. He was arrested because he and his camera removed from the officers something they desperately desire: the blanket of darkness and secrecy that allows them to conduct their lawless enterprise on an innocent man without.
I gotta say, I've been doing since I've been on the auditors, I've been talking about in my videos about what I've been hearing on the scanner and watching my local police around here, local and state, and keeping an eye on things a little better than I normally would. And I gotta say, man, there's a lot of fucking bad things happening. There's a lot of bad things happening. And as they've been happening, I keep thinking to myself, man, this has been going on all along. I was looking at it myself throughout my life the wrong way. They've turned innocent people into guilty people. And again, I'm going to continue to bring it back to us. It comes back to the 7.8 billion zombie slaves. It does. It really does. It's not even the fault of police, because when you listen to the fucking scanners, you have all these Karens, Kevins, tattletales, wannabe cops, bootlickers, they call them, copsuckers, all these different terms you can put on all these people. It's us. That's us. That's a 7.8 billion. There's some things that really need to be paid attention to here with the auditors. A lot of auditors are agents. They're working for the for both sides, for that matter, because they're double agents. In other words, they're purposely pushing buttons and crossing lines that should not even be considered lines. And then it gives other people the evidence that if they go out and do the same thing, if they film their police or any government agency for that matter, in the line of duty, then they have all these hoaxes. Some of these hoaxes, I'm sure people really get hurt. And some die in these hoaxes. I have no doubt. So I'm not trying to take that away from anyone. I'm just saying they're hoaxes because they're purposeful to bend the rules and bend the rights of people. That's why it's so important that you all go look at what it is I'm showing you, because all that goes away. If everyone sees it, then it all goes away. The zombie slaves, the 7.8 billion zombie slaves, can no longer pretend that the human concept, that the way that we live our life by human concepts. In other words, anything written in ink, anything written, they're human concepts. They're human thoughts. They're human concepts. They're not based on any reality at all. As a matter of fact, they're twisted and upside down world. They're not based on any reality. That's why it's important that everyone goes and looks at what it is I'm showing you. Unbelievable. Because all the lies go away. And that's going to be your evidence. It's certainly my evidence that it is really 7.8 billion zombie slaves. It's not just the cops. It's not just the lawyers. It's not just the judges. It's not just the doctors. It's not just the nurses. It's not just the teachers. It's all of us. It's the 7.8 billion fucking. So listening to the scanner and listening more closely to what's been going on. Number one, yes, our rights are being violated every fucking day, but the bigger violator to me are all the little fucking tattletales with their cell phones that they call in fake shit right away. You got people, because of the cameras, this again to the auditors, be very careful what you wish for, because what the Karens and these guys are doing is, let's say they get a picture of a guy coming out of a store with a mask on, right? A full face mask or whatever. Now, if it's not COVID related or Lion Mama Kona, I shouldn't say the word, but if it's not Lion Mama Kona 19 related, then it better be a weather thing or something like that. You have to have a reason for it. Otherwise, the general public will call. Now, I've seen the police use, and I'm in my area, this is in my area only, Massachusetts. I have seen them use what we would consider to be discretion when responding to these 7.8 billion zombie slaves calling in all their ridiculous complaints, warnings, threats. See it if you see it, then report it type shit, right? Because they're all over the place. There's so many of these fucking pricks, man. They drive me nuts. They're all religions, Christians, Muslim, Jewish, you name it. All religions.
Being interrupted by.
This is why they're going to do away with, this is not why, but this is all part of doing away with police officers in general. Police have been militarized because what we always thought of the police is going to be gone anyways. But our police, local and state, and I guess everything after that are just different agencies. Anything after that, you got all the alphabet soup agencies and stuff. But there were just so many of them. I think that they weeded in, I don't think, I know that they weeded in a lot of insurance agents. So you got special agents insurance companies that are also hire their own special agents, and those agents don't work under the color of law. So the insurance agents, the special agents who work for insurance companies, in other words, private investigators is what they are. So they're private investigators. I noticed a huge uptick in those type of law enforcement, because they're not really law enforcement, but they work hand in hand with law enforcement. The difference is their hands are not tied by the law. They can go, for example, and they can pull, because anybody can do this. Everyone acts like this is so hard, but in our technology today, you can go online and they can get in, not me, but someone who's witty and knows the internet and how to use things, right? Which is everybody, which is pretty much everybody. Because if you have skills as, let's say, a cable repairman technician, and then you change your careers and things like that, you're going to have a lot of experience. You're going to know and say, oh shit, I can go tap in. Put it this way, I have friends, one of them who passed away recently last year. But he was a computer tech guy, and he could, if he wanted to, tap into any cameras all around, on their houses, on people's homes. You can easily tap into everyone's cameras, okay? So if you're tracking someone and following someone, it's so easy for them to do this, because they can use agents who don't work under the color of law with agents who do, and which is what they were doing with me in 2022. They were fucking with me. And that's what they were doing, was using each other. And we had agents from different states. We had Connecticut working with Massachusetts. I was very disappointed to see that Massachusetts law enforcement was willing to work with these fucking scumbags from another state, because you kind of think to yourself, state to state, and then you figure, okay, well, I have family and friends over here, so why are my family and friends going against me from these scumbags from another state who are making false claims? So you don't even get a chance to argue it out, fight it out, because that's part of their game. They will run you broke before you have a chance to even fight it out. You will run broke on lawyers that will not defend you. The lawyers that we get to hire, even for $5,000, $20,000, put you in fucking debt. And even them, they suck big dick. When I look back over the years of the things that I had to go and deal with for lawyers and shit like that, and I'll tell some of my stories in future videos that I'm doing, because I love telling them stories. But what a fucking shit show to hire a lawyer with a $5,000 deposit and a possible $20,000 bill by the time we get done, but he needs $5,000 down immediately. And then as we're closing out the case and everything like that. He did nothing. In that one situation. I've had many times when I've had to deal with lawyers, but I definitely was not going to deal with a public defender in the situation that I'm talking about right now. And this is 25 years ago, so I'm not worried about talking about it now. Anyways, yeah, I was thinking about that lawyer last night, what a fucking scumbag he was, Oh, well, you got to do it this way, and we're better off pleading this and pleading that. Fucking pleading me out, and then I got to go to fucking anger management classes, waste my time, be embarrassed, have to deal with a lot of people in anger management class. Was so funny because I went there originally. I was pissed off that I even had to go because by law, I did nothing wrong. Okay. They put it up as a threatening charge, but I was being sarcastic. So when the judge got me in front of the courtroom and I started saying, Your Honor, I don't even know why I'm here. When I was arrested, they told me that they didn't know why. It was just a warrant. Then when I got down to jail, they told me it was about some incident at Antonio's Pizzeria, which I've never even been in Antonio's Pizzeria that I can remember. And I don't know what the hell they're even talking about. Judge looks at me, dirty look, gives me a dirty look. He says, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Why don't you shut up, listen to me. And then she explains that I was being charged with, again, it went to family court. It went to family court, which was another very strange thing. So what this was a threatening charge because they said I threatened an ex-girlfriend. This was a year and a half later after the supposed incident, right? The alleged incident. So a year and a half later, they pulled me over for not wearing a seatbelt, supposedly. But really what it was it came up on my tags. When I passed them, they had one of the plate readers is really what it was. It had nothing to do with my seatbelt. I was driving by them cops all the time in Connecticut, sitting on the side of the road every morning. When I was on my way to work, I would see them. And then all of a sudden one day they wanted me. So I thought this was all very strange. So when I was fighting it, though, with the lawyer that I hired, I said to him, because the judge told me that day, judge is like, threatening charge. And I said, I never threatened them. And I knew I did not threaten them. What I was doing was I was being sarcastic. So she played the tapes. The judge played the tapes there in the court, right there. Didn't even wait for trial stuff or anything. She said, I have the tapes right here. And then she started playing them, not out loud to the courtroom, just to herself. So she presses pause or whatever and stop or whatever. And she's like, okay, so we have the recordings here from the answering machines. Do you still want to continue to say, does your client, because she was actually talking to my lawyer, does your client still want to maintain his innocence because we have the recordings right here? And I said, and so I looked at my lawyer and I said, Your Honor, I didn't threaten him. I know I didn't threaten him. She's like, how stupid do you think we are? I mean, so I'm thinking back to the message because when I was leaving those messages for my girlfriend and her new boyfriend, I was saying shit like, where are you guys? I thought we were going to hang out. Come on, where? Because I knew not to say, I'm going to fucking kill you, right? I knew not to say, as pissed off as I was and as angry as I was, I knew not to do that because I knew it would bite me in the ass if I was to do something like that. So that was her evidence, was that, and I went along with it for all these years until now that I'm doing the auditing thing, right? Now that I'm doing the auditing thing, I'm realizing, oh my God, my lawyer could have easily proven my innocence with those tapes. If the lawyer that I ended up dishing out almost 10 grand to by the time I was done, just to plead me guilty, right? Just to plead me fucking guilty of something that I was not guilty of. So yes, it's true that I was being sarcastic. That's true. But they don't have any evidence of me being a dick. So they have to assume that I was being a dick and that I was being sarcastic. And even if I was just being a dick and it was proven to be sarcastic, big fucking deal. What does that mean? What does that mean? Think about it. If all the person was saying on the phone was, hey, where are you guys? I thought we were going to hang out today. I went over his house. You guys weren't there. I came back over your place. You're not here. When I pulled up, you guys were driving away. This is the way I was talking. I didn't say nothing about smashing their heads together, nothing about doing any kind of violence, nothing. So there was really nothing. But yet they had me feeling guilty because they knew that I knew that they knew that I was fucking what I really meant by, hey, how you guys doing? I wanted to hang out with you. They knew that, right? But they really didn't know that. They didn't know that. Well, they did, but they couldn't prove that. Let's put it that way. So the fucking lawyer pleads me out for almost $10,000. And then and then I had to pay for anger management class. I had to pay for that. And then while you're there at anger management class, I could not believe it. The first 3-4 days I was going home to my new girlfriend at that time, because I was with a new girl. The old girl and I split up over a year earlier. And anyways, I was talking to her about anger management class, and I'm like, this is unfucking believable. I'm in there, and we're going around the table, and everybody's talking about their issue of why they're in anger management classes. Man, these people were stabbing their brothers and sisters and fathers and beating them up and beating them with poles and doing some really fucking crazy shit, man. That oh man, no, you know, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. So for the first few days, I was like, this is bullshit. I never did anything like this. What? I don't deserve to have to even deal with this. But then after I stayed there, I had to do 10 sessions, I believe it was, 10 weeks. It's like 1 day a week for 10 weeks or some shit. And then it remained on probation, where if I even got a fucking anything, if I would have even gotten into an argument with my new girlfriend, I would have went to fucking jail for so many years and shit. I mean, it's bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. Anyways, after several weeks of doing anger management classes, I started coming around. I started becoming the zombie slave that they wanted me to be, because I started thinking about it when I'm listening to everyone else's stories. They could not comprehend or realize that they were in the wrong. You know, I stabbed my brother because he took the last piece of meatloaf. My mother knows she made that meatloaf. He knows my mother made that meatloaf for me. I'm the one that loves meatloaf. And he comes in, takes the last piece of meatloaf. I said, fuck that. And then he looked at me wrong, so I stabbed him, right? All kinds of crazy fucking stories, man. But they could not realize that they were wrong. And I'm probably was one of the only ones too, that by the time we got done with it all, I was coming to the conclusions that, oh, okay, I was wrong. I really don't have any right to try to intimidate people, even if it was done, you know, sarcastically, right? In other words, when her and her new boyfriend pulled up in the car, I was on my motorcycle. So they knew by the look on my face. They didn't have to hear anything. And she was purposely doing it. They were rubbing it in my face and they were fucking with me. So at least that's the way I felt. So I felt justified to play games and fuck with them as well, right? And this was a girl that I put through college and I spent some years with and loved very much and thought she loved me. And it wasn't just jealous that some girl I was banging for a couple of weeks. I mean, we lived together for years and all this kind of shit. So I felt fucked, right? I felt like I got screwed. And I did, because she, cheated on me several different times in several different ways when I look back at it all. But hey, she was from a wealthy family, and wealthy people are allowed to cheat and lie and deceive and do all that stuff because they got money. They're allowed to do that, and they're not even questioned for it. Anyways, so towards the end of the anger management classes, I started thinking that, okay, well, I really don't have any right to do these things and to determine other people's, So I felt like I got something out of it, where others that were there, they weren't getting anything out of it,
Pesky transparency. What did they justify their arrest with? They claimed that he was resisting and interfering with an arrest. They charged him with disorderly conduct, and they charged him with obstructing and hindering. All these charges.
I want to point out that in that story that I was just telling you, the thing was because it went to family court, right? Because that's what they do with domestic issues now, because that's what it was. But if you don't respond to to the warrant that's issued, falsely issued, because they didn't have any evidence that I was doing anything. I never raised a hand to anybody. I didn't yell at anybody. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't threaten anyone, but yet they counted it as a threat because they assumed that I was being sarcastic, which I was, but they assumed that. They didn't actually hear me being sarcastic and is not breaking the law to say to somebody, hey, where are you guys? I thought we were hanging out today. That's not fucking law, but they saw through that and they could tell. I can hear the anger in your voice, the judge said. I can hear the anger in your voice. I couldn't deny it. I was. But my lawyer could have fucking denied it. My lawyer could have said, Your Honor, you can't prove that. You don't know what he was thinking. He didn't say anything like that. If he was thinking, I'm going to beat your ass or kill you or something, then he would have said that. No. I mean, obviously he's pissed and he wants to talk to them or whatever. So he's saying, let's meet. My lawyer didn't do none of that shit. If I knew then what I know now, then yeah, I could have done that for myself. I could have insisted that my lawyer do that. He probably would have charged me an extra $5 fucking grand to do it. Unbelievable fucking scumbags. Every which way, they're all such scum. Anyways, because a year had passed, I moved out to Block Island, and it was like a year and a half, 2 years later, I think it was, by the time I got pulled over that time. Yeah, it was. It was almost 2 years later. Because I had already been split up with the other girl. She already was pregnant with the new boyfriend and now a husband and all that shit. So plenty of time had gone by. Then all of a sudden one day I'm driving through Connecticut and I get pulled over because I moved back to Connecticut from Block Island with the new girlfriend. So when I'm driving through, all of a sudden I get pulled over. And now I have to address this situation that I was not even aware of happened. I didn't know she called the cops on me. No police ever approached me during that time or nothing. She didn't. Matter of fact, her and I got back together after that incident. After that incident of that day, her and I got back together for 3-4 months during the summer. She was coming back and forth out to Block Island, never told me nothing about it. She claimed that she mentioned it. She said, I did. I mentioned. I said, no. You told me you called the police, but you never said that you put charges on me. She said, I didn't. And I said, well, somebody did because they got charged. And she said, no, the cops showed up and the cops said they're going to fill out a report if I don't respond to that. I said, how am I supposed to respond to them when I don't even know that the charge even exists? How the fuck was I supposed to know if they didn't get a hold of me? No one called me. No one paged me. We had pagers back then. And I had a cell phone. I had a Nextel cell phone. Nobody called me and said, hey, we're looking for you. Anyways, the point is, once a threatening charge is more than a year and you don't respond to the warrant, then it turns into a fucking felony. It's a misdemeanor threatening charge turns into a felony threatening charge or some shit like that. So they got us, man. They got us every fucking which way. They got us by the balls. And we just got to go along with it all the time. Fucking bullshit, man. So now that I'm doing the series for the auditors, I'm thinking back about it all, and I'm saying to myself, man, I got screwed, man. Every time. Anytime I've had trouble with the law, I've gotten fucked. Times when I got caught with expired registration or insurance. If I was transferring plates between cars, they only give you used to be 7 days, now it's 3 days. Shit like that. I would get arrested. And I tell them, I just bought the fucking car. Here's the paperwork. Here's the title. Here's the bill of sale. Here's everything. Oh, well, no, you can't. It's past the days. It's been more than 7 days. Yeah, okay, maybe you got me on that, but it's a new car. I just got it. So, yeah, it's been past 7 days since I've transferred the plate, but still, it's legal. If you give me a chance, I'll go down and I'll register it today. Nope, can't do that. Nope, they got to tow the fucking car, destroy your fucking life, fuck you all up, and then convince you and your family that it's your fault that all this has happened to you because you went 1 or 2 days over the limit of how long the vehicle could be transferred. All of it, all the years that I had to put up with this shit, and then here I am at 53 years old, finally coming to the terms with it all and saying, oh, I see. So they were all involved in fucking me. It wasn't just the cops. It was my parents. It was my grandparents. It was my aunts and uncles. It was my family. It was my friends, my teachers. It was my girlfriends, my wives, my everybody. They were all involved in this fucking scam. The scam to lie to you about absolutely everything you know. Everything has been a lie. I'm showing you the truth. I'm showing it to you right now in front of your fucking eyes in this camera. I hope that some of you will wake up and go look and see things for yourself. I'll be back.